Hello, Mr. Ransom.
Very pleased to meet you.
Hello. This morning I've come to a brewery. Yes, a brewery. But I haven't come for the beer. I've come to find out about horses. You see, Youngs Brewery, which is where I am now, use horses as well as lorries to help deliver the beer. And Mr. Ransom has a special job here. Can you tell us the name of your job, Mr. Ransom?
Yes, I'm the head horsekeeper.
And that means you look after all the horses?
Yes.
Do you just do it on your own, or do you have people to help you?
Oh, yes, quite a number. I have grooms to look after the horses before they actually go to work. And then I have draymen and trouncers that actually go and take the horses out and deliver the beer.
Could we go and have a look round, do you think? I can see
Yes,
some of
with
these things
pleasure.
happening.
Yes,
Fine,
yes,
let's go.
yes.
First, Mr. Ransom took me to the forge, where we saw the farrier. A farrier is a special name for a man who shoes horses. The horse's hoof is hard on the outside. And the horseshoe is very hot. And when the farrier puts it on the horse's hoof, it makes a lot of smoke. But it doesn't hurt the horse at all. The farrier is seeing if the shoe fits properly. It's not quite right yet, so he takes it back to the anvil to change the shape a little. Now he's making sure the holes for the nails are not blocked up. And he cools the shoe in water. And now the farrier can hold the shoe in his hand. He picks up a few nails and a hammer. Now the farrier gets the hoof ready. He makes sure the hair is out of the way. Then he can fit the shoe in place. There's the first nail. He hammers it into the hoof. The horse doesn't feel any pain, because that part of the hoof can't feel anything. It's rather like your fingernails. The farrier has to know exactly where to drive the nails. If he put them in the wrong place, then he could hurt the horse. The next person we saw was a groom. She came to collect the horse after he'd been fitted with his new shoes. A horse needs good steel shoes. If he didn't have them, his hooves would wear away on the hard roads. The groom leads the horse out into the yard. Now she's going to tie him up and start brushing and cleaning him. It's all part of the groom's work. The horse's coat has to be brushed hard to get all the dust and dirt out of it. And of course, it makes his coat look very shiny and beautiful. All the horses here are Shire horses, very big and strong. They're black, but they all have long white hair round their hooves. These big horses need a lot to eat. Every day, each horse gets through 10 buckets of mixed bran, chaff and oats. Mr. Ranson, the horsekeeper, knows that if a horse doesn't want to eat, then it's probably feeling ill. These horses can get coughs and colds and other illnesses just as we do. They can even get bored and lonely. So they have to live in a clean, well-lit stable with plenty of fresh air and other horses near them. Now these horses are kept to pull carts loaded with beer barrels. To fasten the horse to the cart, you need a harness. And this is the harness room, where all the chains, leather straps and buckles are kept clean. The black leather and shiny brass look very smart, don't they? Not all this harness is used on horses working round the streets. Some horses from the brewery take part in shows, and they have the Ram badge of the brewery on their harness. All this harness is made specially to fit each horse. And there's the big collar that goes over the horse's head. Why is it so important to have the black legs and the white on them? Is that...
Well, it's a sort of company tradition to have blackened with 4 white legs if we can get them, and especially from the point of view of our show team.
Yes.
We show a team of horses, they're all black with 4 white legs, and this colt in particular I bought him when he was, 2.5 years of age, and he's gone on and he's grown into a hell of a good horse. And I think next year, we're going to win a lot of first prizes with him, with Cordium Hercules, because he's so big.
It certainly is.
He's only just 4 now.
Yes?
Yes.
Certainly is, very big. This is the wooden shaft on the front of a brewer's cart. Now this cart has a special name. It's called a dray, a brewer's dray. All the beer barrels are loaded onto the dray. And that's where the drayman sits. And the wooden wheels have iron rims round them. On the big back wheels, there's a brake block. There's the brake pedal. The drayman pushes that pedal with his foot, and the brake block presses hard against the wheel. Brake off, brake on, and off, and on again. Here's the back of the dray. Look at those things hanging on the back. There's some rope to help with unloading the barrels, and a bucket of water for the horses. And there are nose bags for the horses' food. Now this horse has got all his harness on, And now he's going to be fixed to the dray. Just turn him round to get him into position. Back a bit. And now the chain is fixed onto the dray. The chains make a nice jingling sound, don't they? And here comes the second horse. You see, the dray is too heavy for one horse to pull, so there are always two. And Mr. Ranson brings out the collar. You know, there used to be lots of people working with horses, as Mr. Ranson does. Now, that was before there were any lorries, buses or cars. But there were carts and coaches, and they were pulled by horses. So horses gave all the power to move people and things along the roads. In those days, there were thousands of horses and many different jobs to do with horses. And even today, some firms still find it worthwhile to use horses rather than lorries. Now Mr. Ranson very gently places the bit in the horse's mouth. The bit is a steel bar. It's used for controlling the horse. It's fixed to reins that the driver holds, and he can make the horse turn left or right or stop by gently pulling the reins. There's a white ribbon on his forehead. And now he too is ready to be fixed to the dray. Once in position, the chains can be fixed. Well, now we've seen the horses being harnessed, and I've got myself a jacket and a hat, so I think it's time to be off.
Come down, so let's do a bit of beer, shall we? Well, man, stand still. Stand still now. Come on, right. Stand still. Stand still. That's a good lad. Stand still. Stand still. Go on, man.